Violence, violence, violence. Political violence. Yeah, we about to talk about this. We're gonna talk about what the rest of the year look like too, man. The political violence. This whole thing is becoming a whole life of its own. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, yesterday I was watching uh CNBC. I was watching seeing the news. This channel I like watching when Donald Trump is signing new executive orders. That's a chance for you to hear the bullshit directly before as these documents get signed. So yesterday, we're about to play the video. Donald Trump signed an executive order going at left-wing political violence. And that's cool. I ain't tripping because I don't believe in political violence. I don't want nobody getting killed. I don't want nobody getting shot. I believe in discourse, not violence, personally. So in the vacuum, it's like, okay, he's signing something to end political violence. Then I thought about something. I was like, hold on. Didn't Donald Trump the Department of Justice just delete a report talking about right-wing political violence being one of the biggest threats to national security? So on one hand, you create a law going at one while being guilty of the other. Something's really fishy. We're about to talk about it right now. Give me 1 minute. Political violence. Hustle. Can we call it a hustle? I think we can call it a hustle because I think we all being hustled. I think me, you, we, us tax-paying American citizen, I think we being hustled. So we're getting ready to play the video of Trump signing the documentation, the executive order, and you're going to see it get explained by ultra white supremacist Stephen Miller. He's really the white supremacist behind the white supremacy in Donald Trump's cabinet. I mean, this is old school 1776 white supremacist Stephen Miller. So we about to talk about that with that. But before I get started, I want to say thank you, chat room. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate y'all. Chat room, in the description, for those of you watching, is a link to my other channel, Incense and Ashtrays. Subscribe right now and hit the notification bell on that channel because I told y'all before about it. And about 200 of y'all went over there real fast and subscribed. Go subscribe over there. That's where my documentary I released a couple years ago, my mini doc on Black American music. There's so much information in that. It's over there. And this coming Sunday, we're getting the full interview from Miss Berta Bell, wife of the great late Charles Red Bell, Big Red Bell, who invented the term lowriders. And he had the first lowriding crew in Los Angeles. Documented, we even have newspaper clippings from 1957 showing where Big Red Bell was and his people allegedly was breaking in some stuff to get some parts. And you see the term lowrider for his quote unquote lowrider. First time you ever see the term lowrider documented in a newspaper was in 1957, and it was a black American, not a Latino. Okay, so what we're doing is we're documenting that culture, and because like we know we as black people we got to protect our shit. You know, we tend to create things and move on, and so Miss Berta Bell is still alive. So I want to thank one of my listeners, Andre, who emailed me and reached out to me, and I said, "Hey, man, let's do it," because I believe in documenting, and I stopped. Me and Hassan, we stopped everything we was doing. You know, we in the middle of filming this documentary. We stopped all that shit to get this interview because it's very important that we get the stories from our elders while we're still alive. And I encourage everybody out there to speak to your aunts, uncles, grandparents if they're still alive, and get their stories. Document this stuff, because our creation of everything has to be documented and talked about. All right, yeah, Lowrider the same as the choppers, right? Felix speaks. We invented all that shit. So go subscribe to Incense and Ashtrays over there. The link to that channel is in the description bar right now. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play Donald Trump signing. This is a 3-minute video that I saw over on C-SPAN. We're gonna play this video of him signing this executive order, and then we gonna talk. We're gonna have a discussion today where we just break down this political football that they be kicking back and forth. I'm not gonna be here all day because today's gonna be a 2-part day. I know I've been flirting with doing a late night session. We're gonna do a late night live tonight. All right, we're gonna do a late night live tonight, probably around 10 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Pacific time. We're gonna do a late night live, and we also might do an Incense and Ashtrays music breakdown too. We might. That's 50-50 the Incense and Ashtrays music breakdown. But tonight on the late night live, we're gonna talk about hip hop and casinos. Nas getting his shit done, and we're gonna also have a Q&A on late night live tonight. All right. But now that all that business is taken care of, let's watch this video from Trump and listen to Stephen Miller, goofy ass in the background, explain what's going on.
Lastly, sir, this is a presidential memorandum on countering domestic terrorism and organized political violence. In recent weeks, months, and years, we've seen a tremendous upsurge in some highly visible, but also other acts of domestic terrorism and organized political violence being perpetrated by radical, politically motivated groups all over the country. What this presidential memorandum will do is set off an administration-wide response to that, ranging from the Joint Terrorism Task Forces to other components of the Department of Justice, to the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Treasury. We're looking at interdicting these groups, preventing them from performing acts of violence, and also looking at sources of organization and funding and support that prop them up and allow them to do the acts that they have been doing.
We're looking at the funders of a lot of these groups, and you know, when you see the signs, and they're all beautiful signs made professionally, these aren't your protesters that make the sign in their basement late in the evening because they really believe it. These are anarchists and agitators, professional anarchists and agitators, and they get hired by wealthy people, some of whom I know, I guess, you know, I probably know them. And you wouldn't know it. You're at dinner with them, everything's nice, and then you find out that they funded millions of dollars to these lunatics. Steve, could you say a couple of words?
Yes, Mr. President. This is a very historic and significant day. This is the first time in American history that there is an all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle the organizations that have been carrying out these acts of political violence and terrorism. What we have seen, if you look at whether it be going back to the riots that started with Black Lives Matter and all the way through to the Antifa riots, the attacks on ICE officers, the doxing campaigns, and now the political assassinations, these are not lone, isolated events. This is part of an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. It is structured, it is sophisticated, it is well funded, it is well planned. There is really no parallel like this to anything else in the country right now. There is an entire system of feeder organizations that provide money, resources, weapons, and when they're attacking ICE officers, they're attacking federal buildings, or they're isolating public officials for harassment, doxing, intimidation, and ultimately attempted assassination. It is all carefully planned, executed, and thought through. It is terrorism on our soil. Because of this executive order, Cash and Pam are going to have the tools they need, working with Scott, to take these organizations apart piece by piece. And the central hub of that effort is going to be the Joint Terrorism Task Force, or JTTF, which sits inside the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But for those at home who are worried about terrorism in this country, they need to understand, because of President Trump's strength, because of his vision, because of his leadership, we are now going to use the entire force of the federal government to uproot these organizations root and branch. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump and his leadership.
Thank you.
There you have it. What do we say this year is? Nine of Hearts. What do we say? What's the theme of the Nine of Hearts? People traditionally on the same side of the fence fighting each other. And this is white supremacy versus white supremacy. Let's break down what he was talking about. If you notice, Stephen Miller said, going back to Black Lives Matter and the Antifa riots. Let's break that down, because on surface level, it's like, what are you talking about? You would think they're talking about us. And they're going to find a way to pin us on it. True. But let me get some music playing in the background. So, what do they mean when they say that, the left-wing political violence? They're talking about those white liberal billionaires, George Soros, allegedly. And because if we go back to Black Lives Matter, let's go back to Black Lives Matter. When they're talking about these highly organized, funded organizations, these are organizations like Black Act Blue. These are organizations that, for the most part, use black plight to raise money for themselves. And one of the business, and those of you who follow this channel, you know I've done shows on this in the years past with Dr. Randy Short. And first of all, also let me say this. Rest in peace to Dr. Randy Short's mother. Rest in peace to Dr. Randy Short's mother. We're gonna put some coins to the side, and I don't have his Cash App in front of me, but put some coins to the side. One day this weekend, we're gonna do a show where we're gonna raise money for Dr. Randy Short. His mother just passed away, and I would like to be able to send him something from all of us. You know, it's your choice. It's not gonna come through me. I don't want y'all sending me the Cash App to send to him. I want y'all to send to him directly. But I know he's been having issues with his Cash App. But I do know that wrandyshort@gmail is his email account address for PayPal. wrandyshort@gmail.com. That's his PayPal. So send something to Randy Short. Please don't send it to me. Send it to him. All right. Because we've talked about this. Dr. Randy Short has been putting you up on game on some places like Act Blue. Act Blue is a 501c, and these are the people that were behind Black Lives Matter. So what he's looking at is these type places right here. They're also behind a lot of your LGBTQ agendas, and they raise money for Democrat donors. And what Trump is doing is he's going after the left's money. And another reason why us as black folks got to stay out of it is because these are left-wing organizations like Black Lives Matter that use a black face, like that Patricia Cullors chick that was stealing about 4-5 goddamn houses. And they put a black face on a white-run organization and make the world think it's us, when the fact of the matter is it's not us. Let's go back to Black Lives Matter. Y'all remember when Trayvon Martin happened? We're talking about what, 2012? There was no drop shipping back then. Let's go back to the context of 2012. This is how you know there was highly organized money behind Black Lives Matter. Within a weekend of people protesting George Zimmerman and Trayvon, t-shirts were in DC, LA, Chicago, New York, and all around the country. How in the hell did that happen without highly politically organized money behind it? How did Black Lives Matter get so much screen time on CNN and MSNBC unless it had big money behind it? You got to ask yourself these questions. Black people been fighting for reparations for how long? Have you seen any black people, any reparationists? I mean, reparationists with their heads on straight, like Friday Jones, or and people like her, Camila Moore. How much time have you seen them get on MSNBC, CNN? Those who know how to speak for what we have going on. We don't never get representation on those goddamn networks until some Black Lives Matter bullshit came. That's how you know it was a bunch of nonsense. It was white money, white supremacist money behind a real agenda, because we had a real agenda. But we're going to put D. Ray McKesson out here, and then then no one said anything about the brother over there in St. Louis that got killed. I'm drawing a blank to his name with the dreads. Y'all know what I'm talking about in the chat with the locks. What's his name? The chat room, help me, because I gotta remember this brother's name before, the one that slapped D. Ray and they killed him, and he was found in his car. Darren Seals. And you had these people there were a lot of activists around Ferguson, around all these places that ended up dead. But Black Lives Matter is everywhere. Oh, and also, how the fuck did I start the show without this? Rest in peace to Assata Shakur. Speaking of activists. Rest in peace to Assata Shakur. We're going to do something, talk about her a little bit more later on. But rest in peace to Assata Shakur. Tupac's godmother passed away peacefully in Cuba, and they never caught her. And never caught her. Rest in peace to the Queen Mother Assata Shakur. And you say you from St. Louis? Yeah, St. Louis is a lot of brothers ended up coming up short in St. Louis. And those were the real voices that we wanted heard. But Black Lives Matter was everywhere. And the reason why I like this move when it comes to that is because he's going after the money. Black Lives Matter really put us out there, black people. Black Lives Matter did us very little good. It became a talking point that liberals use to push LGBTQ, to push all kinds of other shit, immigration. But we get the political blowback from the right wing. When we have a just cause like reparations, they go right back to Black Lives Matter, an organization that had nothing to do with us, that used our plight to raise money for Democrats. Rocky. Hold on. Rocky. You want to go, Rocky? Rocky had to get up out of here. I was too loud for him. But this is, we got places, organizations like Black Lives Matter raising money off of our plight and not sharing that money with us, nor sharing any laws that's going to help us. Anti-lynching bill is an LGBTQ bill. A brother just got lynched a couple weeks ago, and they said he committed suicide. So what the fuck is an anti-lynching bill going to do if the cops are just going to rule it suicide? When a brother got 3 broken limbs, he killed himself by hanging himself. Right. But even though, like I said, you're starting to see them go after each other, like really, black folks, this is why it's best that we stay out of it. You see them really starting to go at one another. This is right-wing billionaires targeting left-wing billionaires. Because I don't think they should be able to raise money off of our plight if we ain't going to get nothing. Chat room. Who remembers back during the quote-unquote George Floyd riots in Atlanta and Milwaukee, people reporting cinder blocks and bricks? Remember it was just pallets of bricks in Atlanta? When you saw them going through, the news going through, you would just see a pallet of bricks in downtown around a bunch of glass buildings. Who remembers that? Who remembers those pallets of bricks everywhere? Who did that? It's just, black folks, we just was too smart to pick them up. Remember? It was bricks out there. We just didn't pick them up. Who remembers that? What's up, Star in the chat? And all my other mods and everybody else is not a mod. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, Wally, Golden Girl, Golden Gold, y'all remember. Positive Influence, Jay Jimerson. Y'all remember. Bricks were piled up, waiting for somebody to pick one up and throw it. We just weren't that dumb to do it. So, C. Diggs, you got to ask yourself who was putting the money up to create that anarchy. That don't happen for free. Brick makers aren't just saying, hey, let's just donate some bricks to hope that they go ahead and throw it through them buildings. Who put the money up? I agree. Anybody putting up money for violence should be criminalized. Yes. Yes. Yes, but yeah, that's what they said in Chicago. Chicago black folks took pictures of the bricks on the pallets, right? So I'm not, look, this is the white folks fight. But for all you people who think just because Trump is different than them that he's on your side, let's tell the whole story. Y'all ready for the whole story? Let's get to the whole story. Just last month, this article is from freegovinfo.info. Just last month, September 16th, Donald Trump, not last month, this month, it's 10 days ago, they got caught deleting a study on the DOJ website, Department of Justice, talking about right-wing terrorism being a major threat to national security. Yeah. I'm going to put this I'm putting this in the chat room right now, this article. And in this article, you can click on the archived study. And it wasn't just that. The Department of Justice has been saying that white supremacist groups are one of the biggest threats to national security for a long time. This is a report back in 2017 on domestic terrorism. And there are more reports that go back even further. There are more reports that go back even further than these. Talking about white supremacists and extremists. Look at this. But what happened was when Trump got in office, the first time he deleted this too. The term white supremacist extremism describes people or groups who commit criminal acts in the name of white supremacist ideology. According to media sources, in May 2017, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security released a joint intelligence bulletin repeatedly saying that white supremacists were responsible for 49 homicides and 26 attacks from 2000 and 2016, more than any other domestic extremist movement. They're saying 26 attacks, and that was back then. This was from 2000 to 2016, and it talks about how white supremacists are a major threat to national security. We can go back here. This is from the gov.info.gov. This is from a .gov website. It's talking about the 115th Congress first session, and when they said to authorize dedicated domestic terrorism offices within the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, and the FBI to analyze, monitor terrorist activity, and require federal government to take steps to prevent domestic terrorism. And in this thing, they're talking about, in this whole thing, they're talking about the domestic terrorism that's going on in the United States. What do they find? Literally, number one, Congress finds the following: white supremacists and other right-wing extremists are the most significant domestic terrorism threat facing the United States. This is from Congress, and this is from November 2017. Question, chat room. Who was president November 2017? I am a real American. Who was president November 2017? 45. The punk Donald Trump. This is Trump's Congress. Okay? So while Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk somewhere down 6 feet in the dirt, when they want to talk all shit about black people, this is the white folks Congress. Put at number one, white supremacists and other right-wing extremists. Had Charlie Kirk been talking about this report, maybe he could have saved some people in his community from maybe that violent man or whoever that was that shot him would have thought differently had he talked about who the real problem is in America and not created this enemy that doesn't exist. I'm taking y'all on a history journey, y'all. Y'all know me. I like to bring the receipts, bring the facts, and bring historical context. Historical context is everything. If people are not giving you historical context, they're giving you bullshit. The only way to truly understand something is to understand the context as to why that thing exists in an environment. But they got you thinking Candace Owens is smart just because she speaks clearly. They got you thinking Nick Fuentes is smart just because he knows how to put on, he's very engaging online. They had you thinking Charlie Kirk was smart because he went and talked to a whole bunch of college kids. These people ain't smart. They just as dumb as the people that they arguing against. And they hate filled in their heart. Officer Tatum, these are hate-filled losers, okay? Who always like to start you at now so that they can create a narrative to push you along and mislead how you view something. That's not how you do it. You got to dig down to the root. And if they ain't digging down to the root, they ain't shit, okay? Everything in life has a cause and effect relationship. The effect is Charlie Kirk getting shot. The effect is all this, is the shooting at the military base a couple weeks ago. The effect is these school shootings. The effect is Nancy Pelosi's husband getting his ass whooped at home. These things are effects. Ruby Ridge, effect. Waco, Texas, effect. Theodore Kaczynski, effect. Timothy McVeigh, Oklahoma City bombing, effect. Cause. What's the cause? The cause is gang violence. These are all gangs. These are all gang members. Hell's Angels. These white supremacist groups are gangs. And these gangs are born out of an anger of losing a country that people thought was theirs. Why are you a white supremacist? White supremacy is a cause. I mean, it's an effect. What's the cause of white supremacy? The cause of white supremacy is miseducation. Telling people from birth that they're better than somebody else because of their skin tone. Telling a baby from birth that he or she is entitled to the supreme position. That's why Charlie Kirk can grow up and say, hey, if a black person got hired, it must have been DEI. That's because he's been trained since a baby that a white person is guaranteed the supreme position, which is only something that Abraham Lincoln said 170 years ago. These are the causes. The behavior is the effect. And this bill, this paperwork is showing you who are the people behind the cause. Let's keep reading this. An unclassified 2017 Joint Intelligence Bulletin from the federal FBI said the Department of Homeland Security found that white supremacist extremism poses persistent threat of lethal violence and that white supremacists are responsible for 49 of the 26 homicides from 2000 to 2016. According to New American Foundation, since September 11, 2001, 76 Americans have died in terrorist attacks in the United States. 89% were killed by far right-wing extremists. You got the Sheik shooting in Wisconsin 2012. You got the 2014 Jewish Community Center. You got the 2014 Las Vegas killing that killed all those people that was out there partying. Oh, no, that's not that one. That one was when those two police officers were killed in 2014. June 17th, that was Carolina. The shooting in the church. They're not even, it's funny, crazy here, they're not even putting Stephen Paddock isn't even in this. The guy that shot all them people in Vegas, he should be in this too. The numbers are way bigger than this. They ain't even put in the Vegas shooting. Charlottesville. They're telling you all this. This is when Trump first got in office. So let's go back now. This here is a report that was put out by the Department of Justice this year. And it was deleted just 10 days ago about Trump. By Trump, I should say. Trump's administration. And it's talking about these extremist crimes. And it's talking about what's going on. It's talking about the military experience of these people. It's also talking about how they use the internet. It's going really, really in depth. talking about entering and exiting white supremacy, how hate is an outcome, white supremacist group. All throughout this study, and I'm not going to go all the way through it. I will put a link. I just put a link. I just put a link to it into the chat. Let me put a link. I put a link to the site. This is on the Wayback Machine. I went and found the article in the Wayback Machine and talking about it. That's the actual article that article was deleted by the Department of Justice. Got to ask yourself why. If political violence is the issue, why are y'all deleting reports on political violence? And what I'm talking right now, I'm putting this in the description. Let me see here. All right. I just put a link to the Department of Justice deleted report in the description. So now y'all can go to the description and read this your monkey ass self. You dig? So when Megyn Kelly and all these Stephen Miller, all these white supremacists, dickheads want to talk about political violence from the left, no, homie. Y'all still are the face of political violence, of the carrying out of the physical form of political violence, I should say. You guys carry out the physical form of domestic violence. Period. Point blank. Fuck you if you got a problem with what I said. I read it here from the Department of Justice, and they don't have no niggas working for them, okay? Trump fired all the niggas, all right? And the few that's there, those are Stephen A. Smith types. They ain't on our team anyway. So this is your people. They ain't tell you nothing about no sheriff, no Crips. Ain't no Vice Lords. Ain't no GDs. Ain't no Bloods. Ain't no Nation of Islam. Ain't no none of them. Ain't no Hebrew Israelites. This is your people. Sound to me like you guys got to have a serious talk and ask, what are the fathers in your community doing to allow this wretched behavior to terrorize this great nation? I love this country, and I don't want to see kids shot in school. I don't want to see people I disagree with get their neck peeled back on camera. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see Sikh temples and churches and synagogues get shot up. We got to have this conversation if we gonna save this great nation. We got to have this conversation if we're going to save this great nation. You dig what I'm saying? And what you need to do is go over to my other channel, Incense and Ashtrays. It is in the description. We are really about to be setting some shit off over there, y'all. Me and Hassan, we got some shit. We got the hidden history of Lowriders. An interview with Miss Berta Bell. The link, let me see here, share, copy. I just put the link to that interview in the description. Oh, stars already on it. Stars already on it. Make sure y'all click on that link and hit the notification bell for when this interview goes live Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Lowrider origin story How do you feel about the industry not giving you credit all these years? You've been here this whole time and you haven't gotten the credit you deserve. How does that make you feel?
I feel bad because I wanted to be known all over the world that we started the Lowriders. There were no Angelinos, no Spanish people. They did not start the Lowriders. So a lot of people know that my husband started the Lowriders, but they don't want to come forward because they don't want the recognition for him. They were very jealous because when the Lowriders started, everybody wanted to be in the Lowriders, but we wouldn't put them in there because they didn't start with us.
So the original Lowriders are the people who started together.
That's right. Started.
And no new people really came
No.
in.
Very jealous.
Okay.
That's Miss Berta Bell.
How do you feel about the industry not giving you?
Bell is the first Lowrider crew in L.A. And there's actually a newspaper clipping that we have in there showing that Big Red and them got busted actually for stealing some parts for Lowriders in 1957. The earliest documentation you have of any Latino doing Lowriders is the 1960s. Lowrider history, as far as documented history goes, for Latino culture in LA, is in the 60s. Black culture is in the 50s. These are just facts. I don't care how nobody feels about them, you know what I mean? So we're going to get these stories out, more and more of these stories, because we got to show our history to the world. We got to show our history to the world. And that's what we're doing over here at Dewan B and also at Incense and Ashtrays. All right? So make sure that, and also, so make sure that y'all go ahead and, her name is Berta Bell, but if you go over to Incense and Ashtrays, no excuses if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, click over to YouTube and go in the description and you'll get a link to that Incense and Ashtrays channel. Follow and subscribe that channel. I got my first documentary over on that channel too. Hit the notification bell when this goes live because I got a lot of interviews on music history, culture, and art here in Los Angeles and around the country. We're doing that research, family. We're doing that documentation because we got to, this is how we fight the Charlie Kirks. This is how we fight the political violence that Donald Trump has laid hella political violence down on black people too. And they're removing the, what they call it, critical race theory, meaning a lot of schools can't talk about systematic racism and they don't include these type stories of black innovation. That all contributes to the menticide that we go through as black people. So all of this stuff is connected. Telling our stories is how we fight. I'm not gonna sit around on this channel and cry about, this is what they did. This is what they did. Well, yeah, we know that they take our history and hide it. We know that they lie about our shit. Okay, so somebody got to tell the truth. I'm not going to sit here. I look at a lot of these bum-ass rappers with these big-ass platforms, and they'll sit around and talk about what happens, but they won't bring on a nigga like me or somebody like me or do the research themselves to tell you the truth. You inoculate lies with truth. Truth, 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 truth. Tell the whole story. I ain't got to tell you to shut up. All I got to do is speak up. You dig? No, they can keep talking. They can keep talking all they want. We start talking too. How about that? And also, let me tell you something else. If you one of them black people that come around here saying, man, everybody know we did that, man. We got other things to talk about. Fuck you too. I don't like you kind of niggas. Oh, passive ass hoes. I don't like you passive ass niggas like that. No, we speak up. Okay? And if you feel like you want to put your head in the sand and in the mud and be quiet, I have no issue with that. Just get the fuck away from me, all right? Stick your head in the sand somewhere else. I respect you sticking your head in the sand ass niggas as long as y'all stay away from me. I respect you. But don't come around this channel telling me not to talk and not to bring it up because your little bitch ass is scared. No, fuck out of here. This is not a comfortable environment for scary ass niggas. Use your voice. Speak up. Like the late Assata Shakur told us to do. You don't stand for tyranny. You fight back to tyranny. And part of fighting back to tyranny is telling the truth. Telling your story. Tell your story. And sit back and watch these people fight. Watch these people fight. This move that Trump is making is centered around the right wing getting tired of the left wing funding these black initiatives that ultimately don't help black people. Like I said, Black Lives Matter wasn't shit for us. What the fuck is painting an intersection Black Lives Matter gonna do for us? Ask yourself now, what the fuck is that gonna do for us? What the fuck is that gonna do for us? Donald Trump, the right wing, they're tired of the left playing these games using black folks as a political shield. They tired of that shit. And let's see. So where is this political violence going? We're gonna do a more in-depth reading over on Patreon, but I'm gonna do a quick one over here on YouTube. Also, Star, if you can, put in the chat my King of Cards channel. I'm gonna reactivate that for my cardology readings, but my cardology readings generally go on Patreon first, and then they'll go over to that other channel that's based in cardology. The King of Cards. Star's gonna put that channel in the chat. But right now, we're at that 7 of spades season, going into the 2 of clubs season. It's getting real tight. Both sides on the left and the right are like sort of repositioning, but the right is in power right now. So the right is circling the wagons of the left, and the right is just now getting started using their bully pulpit against the left. We just getting started. You're about to start seeing the right be a little bit more aggressive physically. Unfortunately for people who are in the bullshit. So, black people, stay out of it. Charlie Kirk's death is not the last one we're going to see this year. We're going to see some more people, some more stuff happen, unfortunately. I don't know the who or the which side, but a bell has been rung that cannot be unrung. And we're going to have to sit back and watch this shit play out. We are going to have to just sit back and watch this play out. Do not get involved. Do not get involved. Do not get involved. Do not get involved. Neither side is for us. Trump, yeah, this is something that targets the people that are funding the bullshit that comes our way. But really, understand this. The reason why Trump can do this so-called political violence ordinance is because black folks are involved. You saw Steve Miller say Black Lives Matter. But what they don't seem to understand is those are the niggas that are your white folks' best friend. Trump. The black folks y'all going after are your best friend. They're the ones that you guys that keep things in check. And those of us who want more for ourselves, they're the ones who keep us silent. So really what you see right here, ultimately what you see right here is Donald Trump is cutting his own neck. Y'all see that? Donald Trump is cutting his own neck. He's going after and targeting the left-wing groups that benefit the right-wing groups the most. Why do I say that? Because these are the left-wing black groups that make sure we are powerless. These are the left-wing pimps. These is the pimps, yo. That's been pimping black folks for way too long. And make sure y'all hit the like button. Why ain't y'all hitting the like button? Where the like button at? Why ain't y'all hitting the like button? Also, to switch up subjects a little bit, I was looking through my comments. I was looking through my comments today, and the video we did a couple weeks ago on Gary Owen defending Charlie Kirk. Look who popped up in the comments. Let's keep going, keep scrolling. I did a video in the comments. And look who popped in the comments. Mr. Gary Owen himself. And yes, this is the profile that has the check mark. This is the profile with the check mark. Y'all see what channel it went to? Mr. Owen said, this was enjoyable. I am a new subscriber. Oh, I recorded my podcast before Charlie Kirk's killer was identified. That's why I didn't say the name, because nobody knew it. Again, great job. I understand the sarcasm, Mr. Owen. And no disrespect to Mr. Owen, Mr. Gary Owen, but I stand by everything that I said. All right? We know who our friends are as black people when these type situations happen with people like Charlie Kirk. We know who really stands for us. You backing all that stuff that they say about our brain sizes and the stats and the race stuff. Yeah, when you in our community, I don't like that. I ain't got no personal issues with Gary Owen. I don't know him well enough to have any issues with him. But I dislike his point of view and and I dislike people making money off of us that don't care about us. Same smoke I had for Charleston White. When he said certain things about us, I agree with Charleston White on Charlie Kirk, but the stuff that I disagree with him, I call Charleston White out, Anton Daniel, any nigga that speaks up against black people, we got to speak up for ourselves because I am black people. I don't speak for all black people, just like they don't speak for all black people. I speak for myself. But when people generalize us, it's not only my job, it's everybody in here watching. It's everybody's job to step up and speak up for yourself. We can't just be going around letting people have these narratives on us and we not react. Them days are over with. Those days are over with. Where people just say whatever they want to say, or people come in our community, make all the money, but they don't do anything to help the greater good of our community. They don't donate to black science academies, youth sports programs, and STEM programs. I ain't talking about handing out a turkey on Thanksgiving. I ain't talking about donating to the NAACP, because that ain't us. I'm talking about people coming in our community, including black people, not just white folks, including black folks that make money off of us. What are you doing to give back? And building a casino, Nas and Jay-Z, is not giving back. I know a lot of people are happy that Nas got a casino, but a casino at what cost? You got to ask yourself that. Nas stepping into Jay-Z territory, and not in a good way. What are you doing to give back? There's plenty of foundations out there that give back to us. Are you donating to them? Are you helping out the grassroots that's there to push forward the proper agenda? It's not cool. That could be considered political violence too. Somebody said, why didn't the Democrats release the Epstein files? Because they're in them, stupid. That's why nobody over here, no. The right's in office now. The Democrats, we all know that they're a bunch of fucking weirdos. The California, Gavin Newsom, they signed a law a couple years ago that said it's no longer statutory rape if the minor and the adult are within 10 years of each other. The Democrats are known freaks. The Democrats didn't run on the Epstein ticket. The Republicans did. So since the Republicans are the ones that ran on, we're going to drain the swamp, they got to drain the motherfucking swamp. The Democrats never lied to you. The Democrats never lied and said that, oh no, we're going to fight. No, they know that they the swamp. When it comes to that weirdo degenerative shit, no, Republicans ran on that shit. So Republicans need to come up with it. And it's Republicans that's causing this political violence, allegedly, according to all the data. We as Americans need to come together. And when I say come together, black folks, that don't mean we sit our greatness to the side to make others feel comfortable. When I say come together, we as black people, the reason why I give so much history, have to be at a full strength, 100%, in our greatness, in our love, and in our light. And anybody who can't come around that, they're the divisive one. Remember that. If we got to minimize who we are, if we got to not talk about our inventions, if we got to be quiet about us staying here in this country in spite of all the political violence over the last 400 years and still standing strong, then those aren't our friends. That's not who you unite with. You unite with people that allow you to be in 100,000% of your glory, and they be within 100,000% of their glory. And they come together and they speak against and stand against political violence. These people ain't shit. The Republicans are degenerate, and that's why the Republicans aren't releasing it. The Republicans are on that list too. And if they not personally on that list, donors and people that you could almost guarantee on both sides of the aisle, people that help both sides of the aisle get elected, not only the federal office, but also state and local office are on that list. You can almost guarantee that these people ain't shit. Thug degenerates is what they are. And as citizens, us taxpayers, we don't need to get involved. Let these thugs thug it out. I look at it how I looked at it growing up in South Central LA. Y'all know me, I grew up in South Central LA. When the Crips and the Bloods was fighting, I stayed inside. Yeah, I'm black. Yeah, this is my neighborhood. My parents own this here house. But that bullshit ain't my fight. I'm gonna let you thug niggas kill each other. And when y'all done shooting and looting, I'm gonna come outside when it's safe. That's how I feel about politics. These motherfuckers is shooting and looting each other right now. Go inside and watch Sally Jesse Raphael and let them do what they do. Go inside and watch the Richard Bay show, taking it back to the 90s, and let them do what they do. Go inside and watch the Jeffersons. Go inside and watch Martin, Living Single and Living Color. Go inside and watch SpongeBob SquarePants for all the fuck I care. And let them thug it out. Darren said, I'm just here for the white on white crime numbers. Darren Butler, the numbers are really big. From 2000 to 2018, 89% of the domestic terrorism was caused by white supremacist groups. And that number's only gone up. All right. Make sure y'all subscribe to Incense and Ashtrays. We're gonna do another late night live tonight. We're gonna talk about Nas and this whole casino thing. What is this? Is this good for us? Stay tuned for the late night live tonight. And sometime this weekend, we're gonna do an Incense and Ashtrays with the music. So make sure y'all subscribe to Patreon. And also, the music history is starting October 12th. A 10-part series on the history of R&B. This is going to be college level right here, okay? That's going to start Sunday, October 12th, exclusively on Patreon at the Music University School on Patreon. So go subscribe to the Music University on Patreon. Go subscribe to the Music University on Patreon. First month memberships are all half off on every tier. But the Music University, instead of charging you $300 for the whole course, just $40 a month, and we're gonna be doing continual courses all throughout the year. And on my courses, you get syllabus, you get slides, word guides, outlines, all the stuff that you need, recommended books, documentaries, the same way you would in college. For those of you who went or are still there like me, who are still in college or went, you'll get a reminder on how courses were structured. If you've never been to college, you're about to get a course on how that's structured the same way I learned a lot of this information in college. All right? But rest in peace to Ashada Shakur. Rest in peace to Dr. Randy Short's mother, Make sure y'all reach out to Dr. Randy Short. Hit him, ask him for his Cash App. I know it's changed. He has some issues with it. Ask him for his new Cash App. I know his email is wrandyshort@gmail.com. Please reach out to Dr. Randy Short and see how you can put some money in his pockets, please. All right? Thank y'all for listening. And remember, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. We out.